The best thing about being a woman
is the
is telling them what the fuck to do whenever I want.
Well, I did hit record. Seriously, are we on?
I'm going.
Okay,
I'm going, and this is fucking staying in. I hope you realize that.
Okay, so for starters, I'm a little buzzed. Second off, we'll go ahead and get this out of the way for the listeners. We are taking a break next week because it's my birthday, and my birthday rules over everything. So there's that. Actually, the entire 2 weeks leading up to my birthday is basically my birthday. So
pretty much.
Yeah.
We've heard nothing about it.
Yeah, basically. What else? Oh, right. Willem Dafoe's penis.
Yeah, bring me up to speed on that. I saw it briefly in the chat, and then I was very confused.
Sorry, guys. Welcome to Jarred. Anyway.
Yeah, hi.
So,
But Willem Dafoe, huge donger.
Yeah.
Huge donger.
Yeah.
Do we know this for a fact?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
What do you mean you've seen it?
We've seen it.
We've seen it.
Where?
He showed it to me in person, and he asked me to hold it, and I said, "Yes, sir. Anything you want, sir."
Was this behind Walmart by any chance?
Why would Willem Dafoe be behind Walmart?
Exactly.
Actually, he did a film with Amber. How do I pronounce this last name? Lars von Trier? Lars von someone?
Baby,
Anyway,
I don't know. I just looked at the picture of the
Big time director. They had to hire a body double because his penis was, quote, confusingly large. And there's also a clip. I don't know if it's from a movie or from a play or something.
He got confusingly large.
That is probably the best compliment.
It was like mind-boggling. And there's actually a clip online of him doing full frontal. It's like a dance sequence in a movie or play or something, and he's full frontal. He's naked. He's naked, and that thing is just like swinging around like a third leg.
And it's flaccid.
That is probably,
huge donger.
That is probably the best compliment you can ever give a guy, saying his penis is confusingly large. Yeah, that's top tier compliments for a guy's dick.
Which he's one of those, like, me and Amber have an old man thing, which
do.
He's always been one of those old men who's like kind of ugly physically, but there's just something, like, okay, Amber, I know, like, we got the Steven Tyler thing, but let's be honest, physically, this man is kind of ugly.
No, I agree.
Yeah, he's not got a lot going for him.
Well,
it's a charm.
Well, we find him sexier than we find you, so.
Just like.
Whoa! I'm like
Woody Harrelson.
You don't have that old man vibe, Ryan.
Not yet.
Woody Harrelson to me is oddly attractive.
Yes.
I'm super attracted to him.
I get that. That. Woody Harrelson for sure, yeah. Who else do we have? I mean, there's obviously Jeff Goldblum, like, obviously. Like, if I saw him in real life and I didn't, like, he wasn't a famous actor or anything, I'd be like, ew. But, like, yeah, that's Jeff Goldblum. So I'm like, yeah. So I tell my mom about the Willem Dafoe thing, and she's like, oh, so he's your favorite actor now? I was like, I haven't seen Jeff Goldblum's penis, so that's yet to be determined. Which, that man's like 6'7", so I can only imagine. And he's skinny.
Huge donger. Huge donger.
He's absolutely, he's carrying. I'm not sure if it's legal or not, but... I don't know if he has a concealed carry for that thing. So...
Stay strapped.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jarred.
Hi.
Hello.
The Donger Show. We're doing this episode exclusively rating dongers.
Yeah, we're talking about old, ugly men and their huge slongs. So.
Mind if I tap out of this one?
Dougie's like, finally.
Typical Jarred.
Okay. Anything else?
I mean, Dougie could whip out his dick right now if he wanted to. We have seen the nips finally.
Yeah. No one wants to see that.
Okay, fine. Just message me.
I think
later,
Amber would beg to differ. Dougie said no one wants to see that, as if Amber's not fucking dick riding every single episode.
As if I not just practically begged him just then.
I'm just curious. Okay, you say so.
Whoa. He said, never gonna happen. I don't think he has a dick, to be completely honest.
Yeah, Dougie, you don't have a dick, because if you had a dick, we'd have seen it by now.
He's got this cute little pint-sized, giant titty little brown woman asking to see his penis, and he's like, nope, not gonna be me. I don't think he has a dick. Anyway, enough for the sexual assault episode of Jarred. So,
oh, that was my goofy fucking laugh.
Okay, so for this, the lead up to my birthday. It's my birthday, so I'm a little nervous because I don't have any notes.
You're going off the cuff here?
Hey, fun fact, my last episode, I didn't have notes either. I was just going off of my web resources.
No, because let me explain.
That was the first time I've done an episode with no notes.
That's what I'm doing this time. But I'm not just being totally unprofessional. It's just that we're having a really big thing here for both of our birthdays next weekend. And I've just been I'm trying to get everything sorted and everything stocked and trying to make sure the guest room is ready in case anyone needs to sleep over. And it's just been like I said, the last 2 weeks till my birthday is basically my birthday. So I just kind of lost track of everything. And then last night I was a bottle of wine in and I was like, hey, Dougie, I don't have my fucking notes for tomorrow. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. So, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so I am covering Velma Barfield. Amber, is this familiar to you?
It's not.
Okay. Which is funny enough because I was not looking for anything specific, just someone who was lesser known. I wasn't looking to anything specific to our area or our state or our city or anything like that. But funnily enough, I found this lady and she was known as Death Row Granny. And she actually, it's a little bit conflicting between, I'll go ahead and say my sources are Murderpedia and Wikipedia, but some of the information is conflicting between the two. But basically what it boils down to, no matter where she was born, she grew up in Cumberland County.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes. According to Wikipedia, she was born in South Carolina. According to Murderpedia, she was actually born in Cumberland County. But anyway, she was born in 1932. Regardless of where she was born, she was raised in Fayetteville. So, she claimed, looking back on her childhood, that she referred to it as a period of, quote, permissible slavery. And she claimed that her father abused her and, molested her. However, she had 7 siblings who all refuted those claims. Wow. Just cut dry. No, that didn't happen. By either of their parents. So, she dropped out of high school in her junior year, and then she went and married Thomas Burke when she was 17 years old. And they settled in Paxton, and she had 2 kids with him. And up to this point, everything's fine. I almost spilled my wine on my microphone. It's fine. But shit started going kind of weird, kind of sideways, about 15 years into their marriage. Burke, the husband, he lost his job, and then he got into a car crash, and he was injured, and he began drinking a lot. Mega pints of wine, mega pints of red wine.
Mega pints?
Yeah. But the problem was that he was drinking this much, but Velma's religion was very adamantly against drinking. She was a fundamentalist or whatever. But their marriage got really bad. She started hiding his alcohol and sometimes pouring it down the sink. And then she finally committed him to Amber. Let me know if this name rings any bells. Dorothea Dix Hospital.
Yes, it does.
As an alcoholic, she sent him to Dorothea Dix, which is in Raleigh. She, at this time, worked at a local mill to support her family, and she relied on prescription tranquilizers for peace of mind. He came home from the hospital sober, and he was very bitter that she had, like, betrayed him. So, in 1969, Velma was that 47, if I'm mathing right? Basically, he was in bed one night, and the house caught fire, and it says he burned to death in his bed.
Ooh.
The authorities dismissed it as an accident, which was caused by his careless smoking. But there were kind of signs of, or not signs, but suspicions of foul play. 1971, Velma went on to marry Jennings Barfield, which they were married for 6 months before he died suddenly due to natural causes. But they exhumed his body and did another autopsy in 1978, which revealed lethal doses of arsenic in his system.
It's always arsenic.
Mm-hmm. So, by the time she killed him, she was already dependent on prescription drugs, and she was kind of carelessly mixing her medications or her pills. And she was actually hospitalized 4 times for overdoses. So, despite all that, with the addiction and all that, she still maintained her, interest in religion and teaching Sunday school and going to church on a regular basis. And at one point, she got really short on cash, so she was writing bad checks to cover her medical expenses, and her several trips to court-produced judicial wrist slaps. Or, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Her several trips to court produced several judicial wrist slaps. There we go. So in 1974, she forged her elderly mother's name on a $1,000 loan application and panicked when she realized the bank might try to contact the real Lily Bullard, her mother, for verification. She eliminated the problem by feeding her mother a lethal dose of insecticide.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And again, the death was attributed to natural causes, which I looked into the mother's death a little bit, and Amber, I think it actually said that her mother died in Lumberton.
Oh.
Yeah. So 2 years after that, Velma was employed by Dolly Edwards as a live-in maid. One of the benefits of the job was that Dolly's nephew, Stuart Taylor, who began dating Velma on the side, it didn't stop her from poisoning Dolly. In 1977. They still don't really know the motive because there weren't any thefts involved with that one. But the doctors ascribed it to acute gastroenteritis as the cause of death. Velma next moved in with 80-year-old John Lee and his wife, Record. Well, it says her name was Record, so like R-E-C-O-R-D, Record. Who was 76. She forged a $50 check on his account. She sought to, quote, make him sick and thereby gain some time to cover the shortage, but her plans obviously went awry. She first poisoned him in April 1977. He lost 65 pounds before he died on June 4th.
Shit.
And after his funeral, she began feeding poison to his widow. She gave up her job in October 1977, which left behind Mr. Lee's widow, who was very, very frail at this time from being casually poisoned over the following months. She then moved on to a Lumberton rest home, where she was twice caught forging checks on Stuart Taylor's account, which is the nephew of Dolly from the story before. He forgave her both times, or each time, but they started to argue pretty badly after the third time. And on January 31st, 1978, Velma spiked his beer with poison. And he died on February 4th.
Oof.
So relatives of Dolly, they rejected the diagnosis of acute gastroenteritis, and they demanded a full autopsy, resulting in the discovery of, again, arsenic. Under interrogation, Velma confessed to the murders of Taylor, her mother, and second husband, and Dolly Edwards and John Lee. Aside from the motiveless Edwards slaying, they were all, quote, accidents. They were bungled attempts to cover up forgery and theft.
I think Sarah's here.
Yeah, we'll take a pause real quick because Sarah's about to come in. Some of the dogs are going crazy. So even though she confessed to the murders of Jennings, Dolly, and John, well, I'll full name them, Jennings, Buller, Dolly Edwards, and John Lee, she was tried and convicted only for the murder of Stuart Taylor. So just a couple of quick facts about her. Okay, like I said, her nickname was Death Row Granny. She's believed to have between 5 and 7 victims. She was, let me see if I can find it. I think it said there was a hold on executions or death row in North Carolina for a certain period of time. She was the first woman to be executed after they resumed doing executions. Here we go. She was the first woman in the United States to be executed after the 1976 resumption of capital punishment and the first since 1962. She was also the first woman to be executed by lethal injection.
Cool.
So after she confessed, or, was convicted for the murder of Stuart Taylor, she was imprisoned at Central Prison in Raleigh, which is also an area for escape-prone prisoners and mentally ill prisoners, because there was no area for women, basically, in prison at this time. Not women sentenced to death row. And at that time, she was the state's only female death row inmate.
Wow.
During her stay on death row, she became a devout Christian, as they do.
Oh, yeah.
Her last few years, she spent ministering to other prisoners, and she actually received praise from Billy Graham for it.
Oh, of course she did.
Yeah. Her involvement in the ministry, it was extensive enough that there was an effort made to commute her to life imprisonment instead of death row. What else? They brought in a professor of psychiatry from New York, NYU, New York University, who said that she suffered from dissociative identity disorder. And they testified that they had spoken to Barfield's other personality, Billy, who told her that Velma had been a victim of sexual abuse and that he, Billy, had killed her abusers. The judge didn't buy it. The judge, according to this psychiatrist, said, "One of them did it. I don't care which one." So the appeal was denied, obviously. She told her attorneys, don't bother trying to, appeal this again. And she was executed on November 2nd, 1984 at Central Prison.
Oh.
She released a statement prior to the execution. She says, quote, "I know that everybody has gone through a lot of pain, all the families connected, and I am sorry, and I want to thank everybody who have been supporting me all these 6 years." End quote. For her last meal, she chose cheese doodles and Coca-Cola.
Okay.
As you would.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That just sounds familiar only because I I don't think I have the book anymore, but I had a like serial killer book, and
I've got one in here.
Yeah, and it included people's last meals, and I'm like, that just sounds. That
Did
sounds
you say
familiar.
cheese doodles?
Cheese doodles and Coca-Cola.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Literally. Wow.
That is so casual. I can't imagine. Like, that's a snack. Like,
That's a snack.
Like,
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
just like Eileen Wuornos. She didn't take anything. She got like some snacks from the vending machine and had a black coffee.
I mean, Ted Bundy didn't eat either. Like, he ordered a bunch of stuff, but then he apparently didn't have the appetite for it, so he didn't eat anything. Which, that would probably be me. Like, I probably wouldn't eat anything at all. But if I were gonna pick something, I don't think I would pick a snack. I'd be like, give me the fattest, thickest motherfucker of a steak you can find.
Yeah.
Oh, no. John Wayne Gacy went ham. He had like a bucket of KFC fried chicken. He had a pound of strawberries. And what else did he have?
He had
I can't quite.
I know what you're talking. He had a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
he did. Oh, and shrimp.
I mean, if you're going to go out fat and happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
that's how I live my life.
You pretty much got free reign on what your last meal is going to be, don't you? So.
For the most part, unless it's something that's like really like obscure or like hard to get,
exotic,
or like
sort of.
Yeah, you can't ask for like exotic truffles or something.
Yeah. Like it has to be within reason, pretty much.
Give me caviar.
She was buried in a small rural North Carolina cemetery near her first husband, Thomas Burke, which I don't really think they should have allowed that.
No.
But I didn't.
What enough?
I didn't see anything that actually showed that she did in fact kill him, but I don't know. Let's see. That's about it with her. But going back to the burial thing, I think that should be held in the same standard as the last meal. Like, the request should be taken into reason and logic.
Yeah.
Because if we go back to the whole Ted Bundy thing, he requested that his ashes be spread throughout the Cascade Mountain Range, which is where he disposed of most of his victims' bodies. And they granted that request. His ashes were spread in the Cascade Mountains. And I'm like, what?
That's just...
Like...
Yeah.
Like, you know that you found most of those bodies in that area. Like, why is that an option for him? So now his victims' families are like, great. Like, whoever hasn't been found is still out there somewhere, and his ashes are just floating nearby. So it's kind of like, I mean, I guess it's different with her, because I guess they didn't prove that she killed her first husband, but...
It's probably safe to assume.
I just thought that was very interesting. Like I said, because I wasn't looking for anyone in Fayetteville or even North Carolina. Like, I just did like lesser known serial killers, women. And she's like, you know how Google, like, you know, you get a couple results and then it has the question box where it's like common questions that people asked. And the first question that showed up was, who is Death Row Granny? And I was like, who is Death Row Granny? What a great question. And I looked at it and it was like, oh, she was raised in Fayetteville. And I was like, oh, bitch, what the fuck? Okay.
I'm gonna do that one.
So,
wow.
I did find a different serial killer in Fayetteville as well, but that was a man, and we don't like men, so.
Well, if we rewind back to the beginning of the episode, you do like men.
Says who?
Certain.
Those are ethereal beings.
You two talking about dicks.
Just because we talk about dicks doesn't mean we like them. Dicks are ugly. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Jess, yes, I have seen dick.
Then you know it's
like
ugly.
God went to tie a bow and the phone rang and he forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking ugly.
They're ugly. Yeah. So, Amber, question, because I've been thinking, I'm not going to cover it because it's not a lesser known serial, or, you know, whatever. But would Jeffrey McDonald count as a serial killer? How many did we say? 3 or more?
3 or more.
3 or more.
Because he killed his wife and 2 daughters.
That's 3.
Then yes.
Interesting. Jeffrey McDonald, serial killer. Interesting. We should cover that one in a future. Not in this season, because everyone knows what that one is, but the boys probably don't know that one.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that is Velma Barfield, aka Death Row Granny. Questions, comments, concerns, likes, dislike, I don't give a fuck.
No, I like that one. I like her weapon of choice was poison. That's
She's
just
like
sinister.
a Black Widow.
Yeah.
My only thing is like, if you're gonna poison someone, please stop picking arsenic.
Yeah, use something organic. Use like an herb. Like, what's the one from Practical Magic, Amber?
Oh, can't remember.
Belladonna.
Belladonna.
That's the one, Belladonna.
We don't condone any of this
The boys
activity.
are really scared of us right now. The boys are so scared of us right now.
We are not condoning this. We are not promoting this activity. We're
not, but we're just saying if you're going to do it, please pick something different than arsenic.
All we're saying is work smarter, not harder.
Make good life choices. Please.
Belladonna, the boys are terrified of us. I can tell.
Yes. At the beginning of the season, we were putting out stats out there as which one out of the four of us would most likely become the serial killer. I think we can narrow it down so far to 2 of people in here.
Well, you definitely give off victim energy.
Yeah. You think? I'm a hamster. And that's the first time I'll admit it. One and only time I'll admit it.
For now.
Yeah. Dougie's
well,
the guy.
A very short episode. I like these low profile serial killer episodes because they're so short.
They're short and sweet. It's in short bursts, but you got all the information there and it's nice and it's like bam. Yeah, it's good.
We love it.
Well, Dougie.
What?
How did I do?
Show us.
Fantastic, as always.
Would you know that I wasn't prepared?
No.
Okay then.
Now
Dougie
show us your peener.
Dougie and I got into a little spat last night after I drank a lot of wine.
Wasn't a spat.
I was like, it's okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have any notes, but you'll never know. And he's like, yes, I will know because you just told me. I'm like, no, listen, you're not gonna know. You're never gonna be able. You wouldn't know unless I told you.
You're never gonna know.
They're gonna know. They're not gonna
As she
know. They're
sloshes
gonna
her
know.
wine.
They're never gonna know. They're gonna know.
Okay, well, I think it's time for a deck disco party. So, I'll go ahead and close this out. If you need any of our information, literally fucking Google us. I'm so tired of reading off all this shit at the end of the episode. We're also still very close to hitting the 1,000 download mark for April alone.
Yeah.
We only have one more week of April. By the time this comes out, we'll have a matter of days left in April. Anyway, we're so close. We're only like, what is it, 60, 70 downloads from 1,000?
Something like
for
that.
the
It's
entire
not
month.
far. It's nearly
We're in the
fucking
we're well into the 900s by now. So you guys, like, please download. If you've already downloaded this episode, just go back and download a couple of the first. Actually, don't download the first episodes, but
don't
just go back to like when we actually got our shit together and download like the first 5 or something.
Season 3 onwards.
Season 3 and on. Season 1 or 2 didn't happen.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, all you need to do is if everyone just goes and downloads like 5 episodes, we'll be there. No biggie. So yeah, we appreciate that. Like I said again at the beginning of this episode, you aren't going to hear us next week. Well, it's not. It'll be not
this coming
Tuesday, but Tuesday after that, which is May 3rd.
I'm tired.
We're not gonna have an episode on May 3rd.
Yeah.
So,
Keep an eye on our socials. We'll put updates out on there as when we're next gonna. We'll figure it out.
And if you have any corrections about this Velma Barfield or Death Row Granny, keep them to yourself because I'm not very receptive of criticism. So anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.